A series of events. It's quite an interesting thing, life. Incredibly interesting. The other day, I had a hospital appointment with a specialist, and I went along confident, giving myself plenty of time. And then my GPS decided to take me a different way. I ended up actually getting to my appointment spot on time. I was given the news that my knee had shot it and a replacement knee was going to be necessary, and that in itself was quite a shock. So I accepted, asked the relevant questions, and off I went. I went to a technician group where I learned for an hour some valuable information that I could play on, use on here. From there, I went to the shops and then I went home. I had an hour discussion on the phone with a technician, and with 5 minutes to spare, because I was doing a live on self-development using the cards, I put the kettle on, and that's when it all started happening. What happened? A power cut. Except that this was a different power cut. It was only half of the electricity. So I went to look at the fuse box, and I was very keen to try and work this out, because of course I'd got a live in 5 minutes. Thinking on my feet, I, on my mobile, asked a friend if she would kindly just inform my listeners, followers, that in fact it might be a little late. Not thinking for a moment that this was going to be an ordeal. I went next door to see if their electricity was on, and it was. I went round the corner to a neighbour and I looked at her fuse box so that I could then have a look at my fuse box. And sure enough, that was the issue. So I pulled the switch, ping, another sharp shock, and no electricity. I went across the road and asked a gentleman if he could help me in any way. I took my mobile, I took my key, I took my glasses, and off I went. So mobile, key and glasses. Came back, the gentleman said he'd happily have a look for me. Hamish. I went to open the door with my key, only to find that my key was actually a torch, and I'd inadvertently locked myself out. All the windows were locked, and so what to do next? That was the question. And thinking on my feet again, I decided, I know my son and my daughter have a key, so I'll ask them. So I phoned, and half an hour later, having spent that quality time with my lovely neighbour, my grandson came, and then what a journey. He's training to be an electrician. And eventually it all worked out that in actual fact, it was the fact that I wanted a cup of tea, coffee actually, before my group started, and it was the kettle. The kettle was blowing the fuses. So we had some fun for an hour or so. Great young man. He learned a lot and I did. And I just wanted to share that series of events, which for me, what did it help me to do? It helped me to realise that I really can stay calm. I never panicked for 1 second. I made sure that I let people know that the live that I hoped I would be doing, that I'd be doing later. And as a result of that, that will be later on this week. And so here we are. I am delighted to say that I have two people that are actually with me as I'm doing this live on YouTube. This is a first for me because it's a brand new way of doing it, and I've been able to tell that story and also say hi to both Cynthia and Sue Beth. Now, that was last week, and as a consequence of those things, what did I learn? Well, I learned that I was going to make sure that my keyring was far more noticeable. So I bought myself this delightful, I'm sure you'll agree, delightful star. And so that's on my keyring, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful keyring. And the other thing I learned was that the weekend then became very hard for me. First of all, I had to embrace the fact that I need a new knee. Then my own vulnerability and self-doubt tripped in. And the reason I share my stories is because it's vitally important that we all understand that we're all vulnerable at certain times. And it's not what's happening, it's how we deal with it. And dealing with life, with all its ups and downs, that's about attitude. And our attitude is vital. Sense of humour, always be able to see the funny side of anything, because sense of humour is so valuable, more and more as you get older. And I'm going to ask if any of you is there any questions you would like to ask me, because I would love to just continue this live for 5-10 minutes on any topic you would like to ask me about. And what's interesting, and you don't know this, is that instead of being able to look at my face, all I see is the comments that you're writing and what I've written. So any questions I'm now going to write. I've no idea if I'm still on the screen, if I've gone halfway off, and I don't mind. So I've got a lovely comment already. It makes me so happy. Sue Beth's saying, must have been a lock week, 100%, just changing hours. I didn't know Dad had 6 sets of keys hand cut. He had dementia and she doesn't know where 1/2 of them were given, so we changed them. That is brilliant. Cut and handed out, not an issue. Thank you, Sue Beth. I just love this sharing. And so anybody watching this live, girls, anybody watching this, I wonder what they will make of the first experience of Sue Gaskell-Barlow. What I'd like you to think about is, do you want to grow? Do you believe in self-development? Do you have issues and situations that you want to resolve? And if you do, then I welcome you and ask you to consider joining me on Sue's University of Life on YouTube. Subscribe and ding the bell. On Facebook also, Sue's University of Life. And I'll write my website here, which is now up and running. Again, it's Sue's University of Life. And I wonder what it is that you find enjoyable in my lives. I wonder what it is that you find enjoyable in my lives. And I tell you why I ask, because your comment I will read out for other people to learn and understand that given time, their whole relationship with people can change if they start looking inside for the answers as to why things aren't working. And I would really appreciate you telling me, if you don't mind, can you see? Am I straight on? Can you, is the camera correct? And this is amazing because it's like I have no eyes. And okay, so Sue Beth says, have you got your cards? I haven't got them with me at this moment, Sue Beth. I'm learning that sarcasm is very prevalent this week, and some of it's funny. You feel like home, Sue. That's brilliant. Thank you. You can see me. I'm straight on. That's brilliant. Sarcasm. I think, in fact, I haven't got the cards, and I will do that later in the week on Facebook, on Sue's University of Life, Sue Beth. What I will do is just speak a little bit about sarcasm. I'm going to take my glasses off, and when they go back on, I will see if there's another comment before I go off on my happy way today. Sue Beth says it feels like home. And I can think of nothing more beautiful than to be told that somebody feels comfortable enough to say it feels like home, coming home. That I can talk in a way that you understand, and that hopefully you can benefit from the love that I show and share with you here on Sue's University of Life. Sarcasm was something I was brought up on. I'm one of 11 children, the last girl, one younger brother. And sarcasm, as I grew into adulthood with my siblings, it was just the normal. And I didn't realise until a lot later in life that really affected me, because sarcasm, people say, is the lowest form of wit. And people use sarcasm as a way of making them feel better at someone else's expense. Now, on the odd occasion, banter, which is not the same as sarcasm, can seem to have the same effect. So sarcasm, if you're someone who uses sarcasm and you think it's great, then look at the payoff that you get for using sarcasm. And if you can happily live with the fact that you feel better at somebody else's expense, and that is you don't mind, then so be it. I would urge people to think seriously and use a different way of communicating, because you can still use banter, which is a form of fun, and speak the truth without having a go at somebody to make, as I say, to make you feel better. So banter and sarcasm are not the same, and it's not about a put down, it's about being able to laugh together, not at somebody else's expense. I hope that makes sense to you. It certainly has helped me in my journey. Indeedy. And yes, sarcasm is something that I will be talking about on my Facebook Live. And as you know, this is Sue's University of Life, which is on YouTube. So this is a real first for me, and I am so happy. It feels like it's working, and I have to trust you, if you're live on here with me, to tell me that I'm still on camera, that it's coming over okay. And if it wasn't, then I would trust you to tell me the opposite, and that would be good. So I will be talking about sarcasm. I've just touched on it here. And banter and sarcasm, banter's wonderful. You can have banter with somebody because you know that that person really loves you, whereas sarcasm is coming from an ego, which is a conditional love, and that conditional love the person offers you and the attention is based on if you do as you're asked and you conform to what they want. And that's from somebody who's controlling, not because they're horrible, because of their inadequacy on certain levels in life. And what Sue Beth is doing me is really feeding me, and I really appreciate that. And that's so, so valuable. It's helping me to feel more confident, because you know, it doesn't matter how confident people are in whatever walk of life, whether they're an actress or doing talks on here, then it really is the truth that we all do feel nervous, shy, anxious. Everyone has those different feelings, and yet we still push ourselves and do this. And so it's brilliant. Sue Beth's saying, you're still here and looking fresh. And Cynthia says, Sue, you're very clear. The picture is good. Banter feels different to sarcasm because sarcasm is hurtful to the target person. Absolutely fantastic, truthful descriptions, both of you. And Sue Beth says, learning how to say no to people and places is also a good topic. I'll remember that as well. I do, I've got qualifications, and I learned to be an adult. I got my adult learner's certificate, enabling me to teach people, adults, at night class at university. And the topic I did was, why do you say yes when you want to say no? There's so much in there that I'd be happy to share that. It's an absolutely brilliant topic, and we have to dig deep. So it's an hour topic to just begin to uncover the different ways of why you say yes, and then learning strategies so that you learn how to play for time and so on and so forth. So that's another great topic. Okay, I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to say thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for your contribution. This is a huge success, and as ever, it's always wonderful if you can share, encourage people to subscribe and ding the bell. And it looks like this is another first and another success, because we're on YouTube and I'm able to have a conversation with you. Jamie Masters, you are a master. He's the guy who has helped me so much. Current topic for this week, and Sue Beth saying you did brill. No worries, I will look forward to and put a notice when I'm going to be on Facebook, Sue's University of Life. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me, and I will say bye for now. I can see me now, and I just want to see what this looks like. Well, what a beauty. Bye for now.